should be preparing to go live for episode 15 after a technical difficulty slash forgotten password delay.
That counts as a technical difficulty.
And oddly enough, the thing that was causing the problems went away on the final try. So hopefully that's a good sign for things to come tonight. We've got a standard seven match card, first one since End of the Line, that we have been back since our last pay-per-view, and a pretty wild pay-per-view that we had as well. We saw the title, the SWA World Championship, change hands. Tomoyo Yamaguchi, the new world champion.
The new champ, yeah.
Had the Quinn brothers continue their dominant run in the tag division, taking down Unhinged once again.
Pretty comfortably, I gotta say.
And, in our main event, Team Sangres takes down Team Wyndham in pretty dominant fashion.
Yeah.
3 members of Team Sangres still standing at the end of that 4-on-4 elimination tag team. I gotta say, I thought they were the underdog. I thought they had a pretty long shot odds to win that match, and they came out on top. Made me look worse for wear afterwards. Got the nice win.
I mean, I guess it's one for the underdogs, you know. Gotta say it was a great win for Team Sangres. Bunch of smaller guys, except for I guess Tiger Marsh, who's not quite as small, but bunch of guys who are, I think, underappreciated and underestimated by a lot of people in the SWA, and maybe less so after getting that pretty decisive win over Team Wyndham.
Yeah, and we're kicking things off tonight with a match from our Golden Trial GT tournament announced earlier this week, which will lead up into a future pay-per-view round robin tournament featuring 8 competitors who have not yet vied for the title, and who have at least an even to winning record, and some of the most promising stars in the SWA. We kick off our show with with our first matchup from that tournament here tonight, with Daniel Drake Thomas, the Fed DDT, taking on Kiho Sankari.
Yeah, and it's going to be a good one. This tournament, I think, is going to be really interesting. This round robin format, sort of 2 groups. I think it'll really give us an indication of the best of this tier of competitors in the SWA who haven't had a shot at the title yet, but have certainly made their case for being in the conversation, right? All these guys have managed to have at least as many wins as losses, if not more wins than losses. Like you mentioned, they're staying sort of right side up in their competitive records, and that's a tough thing to do here in the SWA. Every match has got a loser as well as a winner, so they're showing what they're worth. And I think coming out on top in this tournament, which is going to be a real gauntlet, I think will give us an exciting prospect for our next title challenger, perhaps.
Yeah, you mentioned split up into kind of 2 divisions. Group A, Group B. This is technically a Group A matchup here, DDT and Sankari. The other 2 members of that group, Painwrecker and Eddie Vortex. So a lot of talent in that individual group. Our second block, Block B, Group B, whatever you want to call it, Captain Tiger Marsh, Sangres, Eric Draven, and Paragon. There's a lot of talent in this tournament. 8 of the best we've got to offer here in the SWA, and as you mentioned, wins and losses are here every night, every week, and they matter. And wins can be tough to come by with the talent we have on the roster so far and the performances we get out of each and every one of our wrestlers that we've got in the company. And if you make it through, someone's going to make it through each of these groups as the kind of de facto winner of their division, and then those people are going to face off, the winner of which will have a title shot in the near future. should be exciting to see how it shakes up. It's similar to the inaugural tournament where, whoever makes it through this unscathed or in the best shape is going to have a pretty impressive resume and record at the end of this.
Yeah. I think this will be much like our initial tournament, our inaugural tournament for the champion. Really established the folks who were standout competitors and who had, you come out of that tournament as the winner. You've got an undefeated record, and I think it was 6 or 7 wins. So that's in much the same way you're going to see someone come out of this with several wins, and theoretically it's possible to have no losses, and they'll really look like a strong competitor.
Yeah, 3 matches in the round robin tournament for each side. You go up against everyone in your division one time, and then that final match to determine who gets the opportunity to go for the title, to go for the gold here. You could come out of this 4-0 in these matches, and not only is that an impressive record, it's the competition is what makes it even more impressive. If you come out of this thing 4-0 against the competitors you're going to have to go against, you obviously deserve the title shot, and that's what you're going to get. Got the Fed working on the midsection of Sankari here. The technical stylings of DDT, trying to wear down some body parts, but Sankari, the striker, a little bit more in your face. The right hand and the right elbow, dangerous, and uses the legs effectively as well.
Yeah, he's not quite as creative or as targeted with his offense. He just wants to hit you, and he's really good at it. So it's one of those things. He comes at you pretty fast. We've seen it in several matches where he'll hit that cutter out of nowhere. I remember he busted someone open with a cutter recently, just kind of out of the blue. Sankari's real dangerous.
Goes for a cover there. It doesn't even get a full count. DDT not bothered by that at all, but Sankari's still in control right now.
Yeah, Sankari looking good, but DDT, as we've seen in the past, always a threat to throw out some crazy submission maneuver, and before you know it, your leg is folded in half, and it's a pain you've never experienced in your life. So this one is this is exactly what we're talking about with the competition here, folks. Like it's tough. These guys are both qualified, both skilled competitors, both very good at what they do, and I don't really know if I could tell you which way I think this one's going to go.
Yeah, we're talking about we're a week removed from End of the Line, our latest pay-per-view here in SWA, and both of these competitors came out of that pay-per-view with a win on the card. Kiho Sankari wins the Extreme Rules multi-man match, and DDT takes down the Boulder, a significant size difference there, via submission in a no-holds-barred match. And, essentially 7 people come out of our pay-per-view with a win. You're looking at 2 of them. It's 2 of the absolute best we have to offer.
Indeed. And, look at that. A little finger wag from Sankari. Had it well scouted there, but looks like DDT's done some scouting of his own. With a flatliner, planting his face into the mat.
Thomas rolls over. Had a nice little headlock in there, but Sankari's leg on the bottom rope there. Ref wisely and correctly breaks the count immediately. Yeah,
you gotta. If you're a guy like DDT, you gotta be aware of the ring of where we're. And sure enough, he moves him just out of the way before.
Wrenching on the arms and then into a roll up. Almost gets Sankari. 2 count there for DDT. Sneaky transitioning a submission into a cover.
Can't quite get it though, but he's got something in mind here. Going for that ankle, it looks like. This is
got
dangerous.
The ankle lock in deep. You can see him wrenching on it, and there it is. Sankari taps to the ankle lock. He's not the first. Probably won't be the last. Daniel Drake Thomas with yet another submission victory. It is the only way he's secured a victory in the SWA, and he's done it 7 times. 7-3 now for DDT. An impressive win to kick off our Golden Trial tournament.
Yeah, and some great work by both competitors. The nice thing about this round-robin format is that Sankari can live to fight another day. Ultimately, he's just got to get more wins than DDT. So if he beats his next two opponents, then he's got a shot.
Yeah, not out of it, not down and out just yet. Sankari can keep on fighting. That ankle lock, I mean, we didn't even see a lot of damage done early on. That ankle lock, that's devastating submission move. We've seen the Fed employ that to great success before, and really we've seen Thomas get a couple of wins out of more simple submissions like an armbar. We don't actually see him go to the ankle lock that often, and you see there when he gets it locked in, it's into the match for the opponent.
Yeah, it's dangerous for a reason, but I think you're right. I think he saves it for those big moments. If he can get the job done with an armbar, that's fine. But this match gave him a little more competition, and he had to go for the big guns. But boy, did it work!
Yeah, he's got a deadly arsenal, indeed, and picks up his 7th victory, joining Pretty Elite Company in doing so. He's already 7th in the power rankings, and a great showing in this tournament. And DDT is rightfully competing and has a chance at the title. He's not gonna mess that up. He was an early favorite in that inaugural tournament, then had sort of a surprise loss to the Boulder, and I think he's really gunning for a chance at it again. One issue for him in this tournament, however, his tag team partner Tomio Yamaguchi secured the title at End of the Line. If Yamaguchi still stands as the championship when this tournament, or the champion when this tournament is over, we may see a similar situation to what we saw at End of the Line, where El Puma had to go up against tag team partner Domingo Cervantes. DDT could find himself in a similar situation.
It's entirely possible, and they will have to navigate that the same way that Fuerza Mayor had to navigate it. Ultimately, it didn't matter because Tomio Yamaguchi came away with the win. So both members of the tag team lost in the end, but it is a complicated question and adds some nuance to that match should it occur. We'll have to wait and see, though. And speaking of tag teams, though, got an interesting one here. Deadfire up against this guy, Mason Jones, and his occasional tag partner, Deuce Bennett.
Yeah, we've seen Bennett, going to work with Jones here tonight. We've seen Bennett before with Aloysius S. Yates, but with the sudden disappearance of Yates from SWA, the locker room, television, all of it, Bennett has found himself a new partner. Going to work with merciless Mason Jones, maybe a bit more similar in style than Bennett and Yates had been anyway. Bennett's a little more in-your-face power game. Jones, a striker. Neither of these two are going to probably look for many submission attempts in this match, but just going to go right after the opponents and see if they can unseat Deadfire here, who's looking to get some momentum back, going in the right direction. 3-4 in the tag division for Deadfire, trying to get back to 500 here tonight.
Yeah, and that 500 mark is especially important in the tag division because, as we mentioned, the Quins have been running roughshod over the entire division. They're undefeated, at least the championship pairing are undefeated in tag team competition. I think maybe the entire stable of brothers has one loss. So getting to 500 sets you apart in that sort of next tier down of tag teams, those that are vying for a chance at that title. Right.
Yeah, it's been an interesting, division. The Quins as a whole, 8-1, like you were saying, only the one loss. Jamie and Noah 5-0, and outside of them, Dirty Deeds won their first match. They're 1-0. Not a lot of experience in the tag division. Technically above 500. Unhinged is above 500 at 3-2, but both of their losses have come against the Quins. So, the Quins have kind of put them in their place. Everyone else in the tag division sits below 500. That's the kind of dominance the Quinn brothers have put on the division as a whole. And some of these teams are really going to have to put in some work if anyone's going to make a run at the Quins.
Yeah, and I think the way to do it is exactly what we're seeing here, right? Deadfire are taking on other tag competitors. You gotta sharpen yourself. You gotta work together, build your cohesion in the ring, build your rhythm, understand one another better, and just improve. every time you take away something, you learn something, and hopefully at the end of the day, you've done this enough times, you're ready to face tougher competition, and that's the champs.
Yeah, and for Deadfire, the three members of their stable tonight, we're going to see Diego Mercer and Dead Peace. These are the two that have worked together the most among the team, and part of that is because Eric Draven, the Crow, he's been on a bit of a run in singles action lately and has earned himself a right to participate in the GT tournament. So Draven not available for Deadfire over the next few weeks as he'll be participating in that round robin tournament.
Yeah, and I think that they're probably at once sad to not have his services available, but also probably happy for him. He is their teammate after all, and they want to see him succeed. But it certainly would be nice to have that momentum coming into your tag competitions as well.
Yeah, it's been interesting what we've seen, out of the tag division. The SWA, not a all or nothing company as it comes to tag teams. We've seen really prolific competitors in our tag teams and had their focus, taken away at times. We're talking about the Crow participating in the GT and not being a part of Deadfire tonight. But we've also seen, current champion Tomio Yamaguchi, a member of Dirty Deeds. He's focused on defending that title. We just saw Domingo Cervantes have a long reign with the title and take his focus away from Fuerza Mayor. And we've seen even Corey Quinn from the Quinn brothers, focus a lot more on his singles action, 10 matches under his belt in the singles game. The SWA not limiting these teams and letting them, kind of show their talents in different ways. And that's what we're going to see from Eric Draven in this tournament and later on tonight, in fact.
Indeed, yeah, this is the way it goes sometimes, but that I suppose that's the benefit of having a 3-person team, right? Is you can have one person spend some time on singles. You mentioned Fuerza Mayor, who, while they competed in tag competition occasionally while Cervantes was champion, it certainly wasn't his primary focus. But now, who knows? But to the match at hand, I'm already intrigued to see the way in which these teams are not scared of each other. Standing in close proximity, they're ready to go.
Yeah, and they're going to start with Mercer and Jones as the ref signals for the bell, the active men to start this one off. And no time wasted. Mercer going right for the offense and Jones countering with the Hurricane Rana there.
Yeah, so Deadfire as a whole, but I think especially Diego Mercer, known for their sort of never say die attitude. These guys are often down in matches. They're the underdogs. They're suffering a lot of the beating, but they're very, very hard to kill, and that's a super valuable asset to have in a competition like this, where sometimes you just need to outlast your opponents. I think Diego Mercer is a person who has that extra something that can often let him outlast his opponents, and we'll see if that comes into play here tonight.
Yeah, he's going right at Jones so far after sending his head off the turnbuckle a ton of times there. Now Jones trying to get something going his way. Mercer,
a little payback here.
One of the harder workers in the SWA. Rumor is that the same cannot be said about his teammate here tonight, Dead Peace. We'll see if that comes into play. But with Mercer, the live man, I think if Deadfire is going to be successful, I think they need a lot of offense from Mercer, and I think they need him to be in control of this match more so than Dead Peace.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. And now Dead Peace is valuable as a teammate. That pop-up drop kick, man, it'll get you out of nowhere. Dead Peace valuable as a teammate. We did see there when Jones was last in the corner, Dead Peace snuck a cheap shot in. There's another one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but, catches a big right, though, from Jones.
That's a potato if I've ever seen one. Falcon arrow onto Mercer.
Mason Jones trying to get things turned around, but Peace back up on the apron already, and Mercer back up on his feet. The resiliency of Deadfire on display from both. Oof.
And a Michinoku driver, but from an exploder hold, it looks like. And now Mercer finds himself on the wrong side of the ring. Not where you want to be.
Jones may be looking to get Deuce Bennett involved. Probably a wise decision, but he's unable to get the tag so far. Mercer fighting out of the corner. Wise decision from Mercer if he can keep Jones in.
Got to keep him away from that tag partner. They're within arm's reach already. You gotta be conscious of this in tag team wrestling.
Sending him back to his own corner. Great decision, cutting the ring in half, keeping himself and his teammate in control here. But right now, this has been like a one-on-one match, hardly a tag team match at all. Mercer just going at Jones. And another of those just missile pop-up drop kicks might have busted Jones open.
Got a little color, I think, to match that red streak in his hair. And Mercer going up top here.
Oh,
the Phoenix splash. Oh, my goodness.
Phoenix splash from the Phoenix himself. Gets a 1 count. Deuce Bennett breaks it up.
And dead piece there. Maybe not looking like a great teammate. He is late to arrive to protect the pin and then gets a taste of the ropes for his trouble.
Yeah, and Deuce Bennett going to work on dead piece after he was late for that interference interruption there. Mercer now taking Jones over to the ropes. What's he got in mind here?
I don't know.
Oh, countered. It looked like it was countered by Jones, and what a cutter from Mercer. He's going to get another 1 count, and Deuce Bennett breaks it up again. The tag team experience of Deuce Bennett has been effective so far, even though him and Yates maybe didn't have the strongest run. You can see the experience there. Some great breakups from Bennett.
Indeed, and a great standing shooting star from Mercer as well. But he needs his tag team partner right now. That's twice he's had a great chance at a pin, broken up by Deuce Bennett, and dead piece was nowhere to be found on either of them.
Now Jones trying to get something going back his way, wrenching on the neck of Mercer here. He needs to get Deuce Bennett in. He's taken quite a beating. Really, both of these could use some help from their teammates.
Thunderbomb.
Big power bomb there from Jones, and now Jones gonna go make the tag. Here comes Deuce Bennett.
Deuce Bennett ready to go to work. Comes straight for him. What's he thinking here?
Sends him off the ropes. Misses the kick, though. Mercer quickly dodges out of the way. Now trapped in a bit of a headlock, but Bennett doesn't like that setup. He wants to just throw hands, and Mercer replying with one of his own.
And this is where, size difference can often come into play, but another thing that comes into play here is striking speed, right? Sometimes smaller guys like Mercer have quicker hands, and occasionally that can make the difference.
Oh, and another of those drop kicks. Third time's the charm here, perhaps for Mercer. Now delivered one to Bennett, but he's not finished with the deuce.
Mercer just looks tired. He looks frustrated.
Oh, and he's employing the handspring cutter once more. Jones has been sent back to the apron by the ref, and now Mercer going for the cover. Can Peace get there in time? Bennett's kicked out at 2, but a DDT from Dead Peace. He finally keeps the pin clear, but Deuce Bennett kicked out.
Yeah, he does kick out, but I think that's still a positive on the side of Deadfire. That's communication. They're in place. They know what they're doing. Deuce Bennett, meanwhile, maybe looking for a tag, but there's nobody home as Mason Jones is lying on the floor.
Mercer was trying to crawl to his teammate there. Nice counter, gets to his feet, and finally we're going to see an active Dead Piece.
Indeed, yeah, he's hit a couple of moves, but not much, and he's coming on against Deuce Bennett here to see if he can turn the tide.
And now would be the opportunity to get something going if they could, with Jones still laying ringside, finally getting back to his feet.
He seems to be waking up, yeah. What I was going to say there, Dead Piece, famously member of Sub Gang, so we might see him target some limbs here, but he's going to need to keep Deuce Bennett away from his tag team partner. if that's what he wants to do.
Yeah, we've seen him employ, the sleeper hold he likes to go to if he can get that in. Possibly put away Deuce Bennett. A little roll up and a schoolboy super kick right to the jaw of Deuce Bennett.
And a back body drop. Little back and forth action here. Deuce Bennett looking a little winded, I gotta say. He's looking tired. He's taking a lot of the beating from Dead Piece here.
Kneeling DDT and Bennett staggering to his feet, but
can't even get up. What's happening here?
Doesn't seem to be able to. Catches another kneeling
DDT.
And Dead Piece in control right now. Deuce Bennett looks just about out of it. And Piece has the sleeper locked in. Bennett is out. Ref has signaled for the match. Deuce Bennett is out.
Look at that. He didn't even move.
He looked like he was seconds away from it already, and Dead Piece locks in that sleeper hold and just puts him away for good.
And that's a big win for Deadfire, as we were talking about, looking to get some momentum. What's happening here?
Interesting development. Mercer not happy about something there. Maybe Mercer's not too keen about him putting him all the way to sleep, but it's a sleeper hold. Someone needs to tell Diego Mercer that.
Yeah, maybe that was frustration stemming from his lack of support earlier in the match, protecting the pins. I don't know. That could be any number of things. Maybe it's just a little something, and they'll be over it tomorrow. Who knows?
Yeah, hopefully nothing to worry about. A good win for Deadfire, however, controlled a lot of that match. They didn't always have the best teamwork, but one-on-one in the ring, some good offense from both Mercer and Dead Piece. A lot of it carried by Mercer, but Piece gets the finish there with the sleeper hold, putting Deuce Bennett literally to sleep in the ring to finish that one off.
Yeah, and it's a big win. Big win. Good work. Good work on the part of Deadfire. That's a momentum building win. They looked like they were comfortable and on top pretty much the whole time.
So we move into our third match of the night. We've got a one-on-one affair here between El Puma and the Ace. Puma accompanied by tag team partner Domingo Cervantes. A rough night at the office for really both of these two, and even the Ace at End of the Line. Puma and Cervantes were going head-to-head in the SWA World Championship match that Tomio Yamaguchi came away as the victor. So neither of them getting to go home with the title. Cervantes losing the title after a dominant run. And for the Ace, he was dropped by Triple G at End of the Line, put through a table in a tables match head first. So little chance at redemption for Puma and Ace here. Chance to get themselves a win, going in the right direction after a tough showing at End of the Line.
Yeah, I think I think we have to hope for Ace's sake he's not still reeling from that. Like you said, he was put head first. He was lawn darted through that table, and that can't have been fun. Meanwhile, on the other side, you've got Puma, who earned his shot at the title in the Rumble at Right to Fight. Had a great showing, great performance, and then committed to competing against his tag team partner straight up. But after a few losses, in a sort of back and forth series with Tomio Yamaguchi earned his way into that title match. And so it complicated things a little bit because there was a tension of wanting to win the title versus wanting to sort of 2-on-1 things. And it seemed like it was tough for both members of Fuerza Mayor, and now neither one of them are the champion. So you're right. I think both these guys looking for a bit of a fresh start here on the road to our final pay-per-view of the season. I think this is the time when you want to kind of right the ship a bit and set a trajectory that you can finish strong. Put yourself in a good position.
certainly time to get some momentum on your side, and the ace going for it, but Puma just steps aside to the side, avoiding that kick. You know, an even matchup, I'd say. The ace 4 and 5 in singles action, Puma 2 and 3. They sit 16th and 17th in the power rankings, respectively, as Puma dumped to the outside.
Just all the way down.
Both of these two looking to get back to 500 with a win here tonight.
And similar to as we said in the tag division, I think 500 is an important mark. You know, we mentioned it's kind of a cutoff for the GT tournament. It indicates that you're a good tag team in this federation, and then also with the strength of competition, I think it shows that you are able to hang even in singles competition. Now it's a little different because there are more people, so more chances to get a win. But I think 500 is a mark that a lot of people are shooting for at this point, and both these guys want to get there.
Puma going for the cover after the backflip, gets a 1 count. Again, supported by the former champ, Domingo Cervantes, his tag team partner here. Like you said, these two were head-to-head in that match, and Tomio Yamaguchi really just kind of defied the odds to get the title. But I will say, you know, Cervantes still has not been defeated in a singles match since the inaugural tournament.
Oh, and here we go with that Gamengiri and a cartwheel moonsault from Puma.
Big combo from Puma, gets a 2 count.
What's he thinking now? Uh-oh, that's a long way to jump.
He's going backwards all the way across. What a moon
stomp. Oh, all that weight right on your sternum, knocking the air out of your system.
And Puma has put him away with it.
Oh my goodness.
What a combination.
What a display from Puma.
The Gamengiri cartwheel transition into the moon stomp. The ace never got off the mat once that started.
That's the beginning of the end right there. Went for the pin, didn't get it, but Puma had some kind of fire in his eyes. I think maybe he's had to do some reflecting after end of the line and how things turned out.
Saw the entire body recoil from that moon stomp, and frankly, mine did too over here in the booth. That looked painful, and Puma comes away with the victory in pretty quick fashion. Gets himself up to 3 and 3. Nice win for him. The ace still reeling a bit from the loss at end of the line to Triple G. Could have been playing a part here tonight, but yeah, good win for Puma. Good to see the members of Fuerza Mayor, you know, here together, supporting each other after having to face off in that championship match at end of the line. Hopefully, not any problems between the two of them moving forward.
Yeah, and I think I think Cervantes coming out in support was a statement that there won't be problems. That seems like they're on good terms. He didn't interfere tonight, although it wasn't really necessary. I think some wondered if there would maybe be some shenanigans on the part of a manager, but instead what we got was a pretty quick but pretty good little match.
And as we look at our next match, we've got our second Golden Trial match of the night. Sangres versus Draven. We've seen these two go at it before. It's been a while, folks, but they had a banger all the way back at the beginnings of the SWA. And the fans are going to be wanting to see a repeat performance. Our second ever match in SWA history was between these two, and it was probably the best one of the first night of SWA action. Hopefully, we're going to see the same thing here tonight between the Crow and Sangres.
Yeah, that match had a lot of juice, man. These two really brought it, and they were both, that sort of thing that we talked about with Team Sangres at the end of the line, and honestly with Deadfire earlier as well. Underdogs, underestimated, but never willing to admit defeat, never willing to go down, and it made that match an incredible battle of wills. And I think we're all excited for the rematch.
Yeah, our first matchup from Group B of our GT tournament.
Making his way to the
Songgrace and Draven, as we mentioned earlier, joined by Captain Tiger Marsh and Paragon in that division. A strong collection of talent as well. Draven has came out of Right to Fight and picked up a couple of singles victories, getting himself back to 500. He sits currently there still at 3-3, 15th in the power rankings. Songgrace finds himself in the top 10, 4-3, right at 10th. His team got that win in the main event at End of the Line in a pretty good showing. Draven participated in the Extreme Rules multi-man fatal four-way match at End of the Line, was not able to come away victorious, but tough to do so in those multi-man matches. Doesn't hurt him any moving forward. Had a pretty good showing regardless, but will be looking to get himself going with a first win in the round-robin tournament. But he's going to be coming up against someone with a lot of momentum from End of the Line, Songgrace.
And his opponent from Mexico City, Mexico, weighing in at 137 pounds.
And here comes the smallest little firecracker in the SWA, El Songgrace. What do we think? What do we think his future looks like in the aftermath of End of the Line? What do we feel?
I think we've seen Songgrace really sort of David and Goliath early on in his career. A lot of going up against Warren Wyndham. A lot of problems with the sort of legality of like some of Wyndham's wins. We've seen Songgrace take offense to that. I think I'm excited to see what he's got in store for, taking care of himself and maybe making a run at the gold. He's got an opportunity finally. Will he make the most of it? Or, has he been singularly focused on Wyndham because he doesn't have what it takes to rise to the top of a situation like this?
Yeah, that's interesting. It's sort of his next chapter. What's coming next for him? And I think what better way to start it off than a match against a guy who really pushes him to his limits.
Yeah,
and they've
really
already
just
started off pretty hot here.
Just going back to his roots here with both of their first matchups in SWA. It's a return to form, a chance to start over. We'll see who comes out on top this time. First matchup, it was Songgrace.
Yeah, and I think even that match, and I certainly think that applies tonight, could go either way. That's sort of the fun of matchups like this, is they're really that close, which is why it was such a great matchup in the last go around, and I think it will be here tonight. These guys look like they came ready to bring it all and leave it all in the ring, and that's what the fans want to see.
Draven, of course, on night one of SWA action was not a member of Deadfire at the time, but we talked earlier about the resiliency of that team as a whole, and Draven certainly contributes to that quite a bit. He showed that in that first matchup. It looked like neither one of these two were going to be put down. It seemed like that match was going to go on forever. We'll see if the same holds true here tonight. What a one count and a couple of stomps there for Draven. Trying to kick some life into Songgrace here. Wise decision there. A lot of impact on the left leg of Songgrace. The most dangerous part of his body. His feet and legs. That's where a lot of the offense comes from. Smart decision by Draven to focus on that.
And there we see some of that leg offense. Songgrace going to work here himself.
Oh,
Draven, diff kick.
Some leg offense of his own. What a blast. Really leveled Songgrace there, and has that done enough to put him away? No, it's a 2 count. That impact heard up in the rafters of this one. Strong boot from
Ooh, and working on the arm there.
Eric
What's Draven thinking here? He looks like he's got something in mind.
got him set up, and he hits him with the black leather mass. Cleanly drops Sangres again. 1, 2, and 3. Draven has finished it off quickly. Eric Draven has been on a roll in singles action lately, and the black leather mask there puts away Sangres.
And again, another pretty quick win. Uh-oh.
Oh, and Draven going back for more. Sangres defenseless in the center of the ring in the Crow. Back for some more stomps. Apparently no love lost between these two. Not going to be happy about that one, the fans of Sangres. The post-match attack from Eric Draven. And a big win for the Crow. He's 3-0 in singles action since Right to Fight. He's got himself a streak going.
Yeah, I gotta say, and interestingly, what we thought was maybe a friendly rivalry seems like maybe it's turned a bit sour there, as Draven really taking out the frustrations on Sangres after the match.
Yeah, drops Sangres back to 500, 4-4 for him now. Draven improves to 4-3, and as we said for Kiho Sankari, this is not the end of the line for Sangres in this tournament. A lot of time left in this round robin setup. He just needs to go get himself some wins. But the start you want if you're the Crow, if he keeps winning, it's going to be tough to beat if he goes through the tournament undefeated.
Yeah, I think if anyone comes out of the tournament undefeated, it's going to be hard to pick anyone else as the favorite to challenge for the title, but there certainly is plenty of time for anyone to get a win and anyone to get a loss, so we'll have to see.
We've got some more tag team action here tonight, and a new pairing. First time we've seen these two work together. We've got the Beast, Calvin Abueva, who's making his way to the ring now, pairing up with Benjamin Goldenberg, and talk about a collection of talent there. 290 and 285 pounds between the two of them, 6'10 and 6'5. This is one of the largest tag teams we've got in the SWA.
Weighing in at 290 pounds, the Beast.
Yeah, this is an interesting tag pairing. These two, a couple of guys who haven't really been involved in the tag division and who have perhaps seen a bit of a downturn in their performances as of late. Maybe looking to pair up and throw in together in the hopes of changing their fortunes, but it's a tall order to take on an established team like Unhinged, who just recently challenged for the tag titles.
Yeah, and Abueva, has looked at times near unstoppable. Episode 14, a couple weeks back, he took down Paragon. Not long before that, he took down Warren Windham. But we've also seen him dominated by Domingo Cervantes, and at end of the line in his last appearance, we really saw Painwrecker handle him in a match that was given a 60-minute time limit. Painwrecker puts him away in under 5, and in a last man standing match. So he's certainly beatable, but he's been really good when he's on. 7-3, he sits at 8th in the power rankings. He's had some great showings in singles action, but we'll see what he's got in the tank as a tag team competitor here, pairing up with the 4-4 Goldenberg. As you mentioned, Unhinged, 3-2. They've had a couple of title shots. They've lost both of them, but they're undefeated otherwise. Can't seem to find it against the Quins, but we'll see what they have against the Beast and Goldenberg here. With these two coming to the ring separately, I think we'll no doubt have the record for the longest entrance between the two. They both like to milk the entire clock, taking their time getting to the ring.
Yeah, I think anyone who needs to go get a snack or run to the bathroom, now's definitely your time. It's we're only halfway done here.
Yeah, I think you can extend that further. If you've got a grocery pickup or if you need to go see some family members in another state, you've probably also got the time for that.
And his
But I'm
partner
curious to see how
from
these two work
Windsor,
together. They're
Ontario,
both
Canada,
powerhouses,
weighing in at 285
heavyweights. A
pounds,
lot of just,
Benjamin
the
Golden.
beast bomb for Abueva a has put away a number of competitors. Pile driver jackhammer for Goldenberg. They're going to lift you up into the air and slam you down as hard as they can. There's no easier way to put it. It's straightforward offense, and I'm curious to see how that works as a pairing and how they can tie those things together for even more benefit.
Yeah, it could be a really interesting combo. Like we said, we haven't seen these guys in tag action, so we don't know ultimately what they're going to look like, but the possibilities are exciting for sure. I think either one of these guys is a scary opponent on their own, so when you combine them, it's even scarier.
For the Stones, for Unhinged here, Onyx, the Crusher. He's a little bit more in the same mold as these two. A little bit more power. The heavyweight himself, he matches Abueva's 290 and Goldenberg 6'5". Whereas Slate, they call him the Grinder. He's a lot more of a submission specialist and will look to wear down a body part, get you to tap out and submit. So they're an interesting pairing, where Abueva and Goldenberg are a lot alike. Onyx and Slate are actually pretty varied in terms of their wrestling style.
Yeah, and it's a nice balance between the two of them as a tag team. It makes sense why they work well as a tag team. They can bring a little bit of everything, but variety may be key here. Like you said, Onyx can go, same style as both of their opponents, but Slate's gonna bring something different. And we've talked often about a way to beat big guys is to get them on the mat. And as I say that, it looks like Slate is actually gonna be the one on the mat first. But
Ooh, and the
I
Beast
think,
is just having none of it here tonight. Tossing Slate around and up he goes.
Big stalling suplex.
The strength of the Beast on display. That's a 235-pound light heavyweight that the Beast just holding up in the air like it's no problem at all.
But in return, a little swinging neckbreaker action from Slate Stone as he lifts and turns over one of the largest competitors in the SWA.
Yeah, and then he gets out of there, and I can't say I blame him. It didn't start too hot for him. Might as well get Onyx in, even the odds a little bit here, perhaps. But Abueva looking to take Onyx over to his teammate, Benjamin Goldenberg. Not going to be able to do so just yet.
And we've talked often about the keys to successful tag team wrestling. One of the most important ones is cutting the ring in half, keeping the match in your corner so that your teammate is nearby and your opponent's teammate is far, far out of reach. Both of these teams will probably look to do that here tonight. We'll see how often they do it. That can often be a difference maker in tag team wrestling.
And Goldenberg now the live man for his team and putting in some good offense on Onyx here. Now these two are taking it outside. Oh. Got a bit of the steel steps there. Gonna feel that one tomorrow is Goldenberg. No countouts here in the tag division. A modification to the rules following the debacle when the tag team titles were first contested. pinfall
Indeed,
or
yeah.
submission inside the ring still required, but no count out for the taking a little outside the ring activities here. Goldenberg going to work on Onyx Stone out there.
Yeah, these new rules have made it interesting because our tag teams can now go to the outside and perhaps even leverage the... Oh, goodness.
Face first off the ring post.
That's going to about equal that shot against the steps a minute ago. And Onyx sending it back into the ring here, looking to get it back to how it's supposed to be.
It's got
Old
some
school.
fight left in him, but a strong impact off the steel ring post there. Not a good start to his day, and he's going to tag in his brother Slate Stone back in as the active man now, and Goldenberg's going to try to take control and maybe get a Bueva involved here.
A little snap mare and a kick to the back. Rather than dragging the opponent over, he says, I'll just go over there myself.
Sure enough, here comes the Beast once again, and we saw Calvin handle Slate effectively earlier. So good tag team work here, and over the top goes Slate. Benjamin dropped the top rope down, and that's a hard impact on the outside for Slate Stone.
That's some cheeky work.
And Slate clearly not happy about it.
Fired up here.
Dumps Goldenberg off the apron, and then, yeah, locks in a nerve hold. He's got a Bueva down to his knees here.
That was some cheeky work by Bueva and Goldenberg here. Bueva sort of whiffed, perhaps deliberately, on a strike to distract the ref so that Goldenberg could dump him on the outside. And all it seemed to do was serve to piss off Slate Stone, who's now got a fire in his eyes.
Gut first off the steel steps after a handful of punches and pulling a little bit of his brother's offense there. But Bueva is already back to his feet, and they don't call him the Beast for no reason. He's hard to put down. Nice counter
reverse
from
DDT
Slate
there. Slade definitely seems to have learned from whatever mistakes started this match. He's going a lot more blow for blow against the Beast right now, which is going to be encouraging for both of the Stones, I think.
Capitalizes more effectively on getting back in the ring. The Beast trying to get back to his feet here. Slate, hits him there, but Bueva is on the ropes for that submission attempt. Slate trying to put in the grindstone to put him away there, but a rope break. Smart decision by Bueva getting to the rope.
Indeed, and Bueva's height really helped him there, because I think perhaps someone who's a little closer to Slate's size would not have been able to reach, but Bueva, being so tall, indeed was able to reach the ropes from very far away, and that saved him, I think.
Another big stalling suplex, and Bueva just back in control of this one. Not much damage employed with the submission attempt from Slate, and with Bueva able to break it quickly with the ropes, he's got right back in control here. Wrenching on the arm, but catches a boot from the Beast and is clotheslined over the top rope.
Yet again, dropping all the way down to the floor, and maybe Onyx coming to help here. This is what I was talking about. Being on the outside, there's no countouts, but your teammate can get involved, and things can get real interesting on the outside.
Slate trying to catch his breath, get back to his feet. Onyx really bailed him out there, giving him a chance to recover. See if he can capitalize on it. A big headbutt to the back of the head of Bueva. And now tossed into the announce table. He's sitting head first off of it as well.
Big open-handed shot underneath the chin. Little uppercut action, and
Bueva just carrying him over to the apron, face first off of it.
Not so on that one, as he spears him into the apron.
Strong
that's gonna
counter.
hurt.
Well scouted on that one after the first one connected cleanly. Now wrenching on the left arm of Abueva, but he's punching his way out of it. 1, 2, 3. Gets himself up.
Working the legs here a bit. And again, smashed against the apron and perhaps even a little bit of Onyx's boot. And oh my, a press slam.
Just military press all the way. Full extension there. Perfect form for Abueva. Catches a drop kick off the apron there, though. These two back and forth on the outside. Crossbody from Slate Stone takes down Abueva. They need to get this going back in the ring.
Yeah, important clarification. While there are no countouts and these two competitors can be on the outside of the ring as long as they want, I do believe all falls must occur within the ring. So you cannot get a submission victory while you're out here, even if you're Slate Stone.
Slate embracing the boos from the crowd there. Maybe getting him fired up a little bit. The Beast trying to get to Goldenberg. He rolls away from the kick from Slate. And Abueva... Oh, the power bomb into the cover. He gets a 1 count. Onyx breaks it up. And now Abueva is going to take offense at that. Sends him over the rope, but then leaves him on the apron. Going right back to work on Slate.
Maybe almost a 2 count there. It was pretty close, but either way, not going to be enough when you get a tag partner coming in.
Yeah, without the break, I think we would have seen a much longer attempt there. A lot of impact on the left arm of Abueva. I got to say, the Beast and Goldenberg, and largely the Beast here tonight, have looked pretty good.
Uh-oh. Armbar locked in.
Slate's got both. He's
and the leg bar.
Going for the full Slate here, but Abueva gets out of it. The Beast has a counter for everything here tonight, and unhinged, unable to put this match away. It feels like it's Calvin Abueva's match to lose. Benjamin Goldenberg almost an afterthought in this one.
And a leg lariat from Slate, seen some incredible athleticism, but he pauses here to survey his prey, and that could be a fatal mistake.
Takes Abueva over to the ropes, gives him a gut punch, and now he's going to Irish whip him the other way. Drops the face down on the knee.
What's he thinking here?
Abueva back to his feet, big clothesline. Onyx wants a tag, but no chance at Slate getting there. He's in the far corner, and Abueva just in control once more here. And now Abueva
looking for a tag.
Wisely going to get Goldenberg in. Goldenberg easily the freshest man in the match now. Slate's been out there a long time, really needs to get a tag of his own going.
Okie dokes him in the corner.
Oh, and a trio of slaps from Slate Stone.
Takes his time getting over there. Some more slaps.
Big backhanded chop. Slate off the rope with an elbow drop. Goldenberg gets back up. That little short arm. Shoulder block. Hits the kick there, and Goldenberg's taking him up. Big time power bomb on Slate Stone. Benjamin Goldenberg,
I think I know what he wants here.
Feeling himself, but Slate's back to his feet.
And awfully quick, too. I don't think Goldenberg expected that.
Kicks him in the gut in the corner.
Uh-oh, what is he thinking here? Wrapping his legs around the post?
Taking him to the post, and
a figure 4 around the post. Oh, the strain on that knee. Oh, my goodness, he's not going to be able to walk.
Goldenberg just falls out of the ring lifeless. Oh, and another big slap from Slate Stone. He's turned into a bit of a striker in this match. It's gone on so long. He's forgotten the technical side a little bit.
I think more than anything, I think he's just angry. I think he's mad about, not being able to get victories when he feels like he should, and this should have been an easy match for them. I think he's just mad.
May have also forgotten where he's at a little bit. He looked like he was real staggered on his feet there. Some of those shots from Goldenberg, who just tosses him over his head out on the outside of the ring.
He has taken quite a bit of offense, and you may be right. He may have sort of lost his calibration here a bit. It probably would be good to get his brother Onyx tagged in for a bit, but he's got to go through Goldenberg first. As we get an abdominal stretch here, and maybe a little extra something in the abdominal region.
A little bit of maybe a nerve hold or something there. I'm not quite sure from the hard cam view here. Back inside the ring, though, and Goldenberg whips him into the corner. Big clothesline into the corner. Abueva gets out of the way of that one as well. Oh,
a big German holds on.
About
going for
another,
a second.
And why
holds
not
on again.
Finish off the ride with a third. Slate Stone is just dead on his feet out there. Needs to get out of here. Goldenberg has him up. Oh.
And he's so tired he can't even hit the pin right away.
Big jackhammer. He's going for the cover. 1, 2, and Onyx breaks it up.
Onyx Stone ready to strike.
Saved by his brother, and I'm almost certain this match was over if he hadn't. But Goldenberg isn't finished. He's looking for the tombstone, and he's got it.
Drags him to the center of the ring.
Repositions him. Goldenberg going for the cover, and the Beast. The Beast interrupted Onyx, but somehow Slate kicked out.
Incredible work by Slate. I don't know what else to say.
How is this one not over? And now Goldenberg is still not done. How about a second pile driver? Dumped on his head. Slate Stone. I don't know how he's still even in this match, but Onyx is going to break it up, and Slate will have to fight on. He's taken a jackhammer and multiple pile drivers just from Goldenberg, not to mention the offense he's taken from the Beast. And still fighting now. He's got the arm going for the leg, looking for the full Slate on Goldenberg. Can Goldenberg get out of it? No, he's tapped. Goldenberg tapped.
Incredible work from Unhinged, and particularly Slate Stone. What resiliency, what fight. Teamwork,
Slate
Onyx
Stone.
saving his brother.
He hangs in, but Onyx really the MVP there with multiple saves and what looked like just the end of life for Slate Stone.
Yeah, you can see here, even on these German suplexes, he was so limp. He was done for, but I think maybe seeing his brother fight for him like that maybe gave him another wind. I don't know.
He was busted open with the second pile driver there. He caught a jackhammer and 2 pile drivers from Benjamin Goldenberg. After taking a beating from Abueva, Onyx keeps him alive, and he locks in the full Slate on Benjamin Goldenberg to get the victory. Unhinged survives a match that, frankly, they should have lost here. Abueva's got to be pretty upset about that one, that he doesn't come away with a win after a hell of a battle from him, just wearing down Slate Stone for so long. And then Goldenberg really puts the finishing touches on it, and Onyx just keeps the match alive.
Yeah, about 3 times there in the span of a minute or so, we thought it was done, but it ain't over till it's over, and Slate Stone reminded us all of that.
Tough to follow the brawl that was that one. We go into our third and final GT match of the night for this week. It's a Group B pairing between Paragon and Captain Tiger Marsh, and should be a good one. The heavyweight taking on the super heavyweight. 6'8", 400 pounds for Paragon. He's the SWA's largest competitor. Sits at 1-1. Dropped a match to Calvin Abueva, and you can see why. We saw the offense of Abueva on display just moments ago. Paragon's still getting his feet under him, figuring it out. New to the SWA, but a big opportunity being included in this tournament.
400 pounds,
Paragon here, an interesting case in, early career hype and question mark as far as whether or not he's going to live up to it. He came out, looked really great in the Rumble, and certainly seems a specimen, right? Like you mentioned, he's our largest competitor, but he's pure muscle. But hasn't quite put it together yet to the degree that I think at least I expected of him. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can, sort of get some momentum going here against a guy like Tiger Marsh, who quietly keeps winning.
Yeah, these two were head-to-head a bit in the main event of End of the Line. Captain Tiger Marsh was a selection by Sangres, and Warren Wyndham made the selection of Paragon. Paragon ended up being the first eliminated for Team Wyndham. Captain Tiger Marsh was pretty crucial for Team Sangres. 7-3 for Marsh. He's looking here tonight. If he gets a win, becomes just the third SWA superstar with 8 wins. And but he's got a tough and large opponent in Paragon, who he levels right off the bat.
Yeah, I don't think he's afraid of the size of Paragon. That much seems to be very obvious from the get-go here. Despite the weight difference, these two stand pretty much eye to eye, and both a couple of strong guys who I think will be able to really take it to one another.
Ooh, big clothesline since Paragon over the top rope. And Marsh taking some time to show off the muscles of his own against the very visibly jacked Paragon.
And as these two trade blows on the outside, important to remember that they can actually be counted out here, as Paragon takes a boot to the face and then a cool breeze to the face as well.
Marsh, I don't know if he's taunting him by just 3 consecutive strikes there, inches away from Paragon's face, no connection, and Paragon counters by just throwing him over the top rope.
These guys doing a little okey doking of each other as they go in and out of the ring. But now Paragon working the head, slowing it down, leaning on that strength, I think, is really his approach here. He's a big, strong guy, and he wants to do big, strong things.
Gets no count on the pinfall attempt there. Marsh now clotheslines him into the corner. And among the participants in Group B, Captain Tiger Marsh, perhaps the favorite. He's the highest in the power rankings, sitting at 6th. The best ranking among those in the B division. Interesting to see if he's able to come out on top of that one or not, or if someone else can kind of rise to the top here.
Yeah, I mean, I think on paper he's the favorite given his power ranking and given his record, like we mentioned. But as we've already talked about tonight, this competition is stiff. This tournament is, sort of the cream of the crop. Those guys who are right underneath the title picture who haven't had a chance at it yet, and they all have something to fight for. So you can't count out anyone in this tournament except when they're outside the ring, because that's against the rules. But you know what I mean.
Marsh gets a 1 count, and then he's clotheslined over the top. These two more than happy to send each other to the outside so far early on. Oh! Paragon tries to run into the ring, and a big boot by Marsh sends him face first off the apron.
And stepping on the giblets there as well, it looked like, putting all his weight right where the sun don't shine. And Tiger Marsh not missing with these punches, my goodness.
No, and we got to a 6 count there. Getting a count-out victory in this tournament, a viable strategy. We're also going to see over the course of the 4-week tournament, each of these competitors are going to have at least 3 matches. So going to be a lot of work happening as Marsh takes him off the middle rope, looking for that mid-rope DDT that he hits. If you can get out of here with a quick victory or a count-out victory, ease into it a little bit, you can save yourself for those future matches a little bit. It's Marsh going for the cover. 2 count. Paragon's kicked out.
Only 2. It's not going to be enough. But you say that, and that's a good point. But at the same time, as Marsh starts tuning up the band here, winding up for that famous super kick.
Big super kick, and he might have got all of it as he put away Paragon here to get his first victory. Yes, he has. Captain Tiger Marsh gets the first win for himself in the B group of the GT tournament. His 8th singles victory, joining only Domingo Cervantes and Triple G as competitors with 8 singles wins. Nice win for Captain Tiger Marsh.
Yeah, and a good back and forth at times. Paragon showed kind of what he was made of, but ultimately that was Marsh's match. He controlled more of it. He looked like he deserved the win, and he gets it done in the end.
And
Here is your winner, the captain.
So after our first round of matches, our first round, or rather our first night of matches in the GT, we have 2 wins in Group B, Eric Draven, Captain Tiger Marsh, and 1 win in Group A, the Fed, Daniel Drake Thomas. We'll update these rankings periodically as the matches go on, so that you all can keep track of who's on top and who's going to have a chance to fight for the title. So keep that in mind. But we're moving on, I think, to our main event tonight. Yasuke Bozeman and Warren Windham.
yeah, and these two have had it out for each other every time they've been in the same ring, which has been in multi-man scenarios. The first time they'll be meeting one-on-one. But Bozeman and Windham met when Windham was the SWA World Champion back at SWA Countdown in the Chamber match. Yasuke Bozeman famously put Warren Windham through not 1, but 2 of the Chamber pods, but was eventually eliminated. Got some revenge at end of the line last week in that 4-on-4 tag team match. Yasuke Bozeman made Warren Windham tap out, eliminating the captain himself from the other squad. They finally get to face off one-on-one, and Bozeman would love to come away victorious here, but Windham, always confident. I'm sure that he feels like this is a certain victory for himself.
Yeah, Windham, seems to think that everyone else should worship the ground he walks on. So I'm not surprised that he's confident. But on the other hand, Yasuke Bozeman has shown out against Windham before, and coming off a big win as part of Team Sangres at the end of the line against Warren Windham's team, he has a lot of reasons to be confident as well.
Yeah, he had 2 of the 4 eliminations in that match and almost had a third. Really kind of set up another one for his captain, Sangres. We'll see if he can get they won't call in an elimination in this match, but if he can get a pinfall or a submission here against Windham tonight, it'll boost his singles resume quite a bit. Windham sits at 5th in the power rankings, 7-2 in singles action, and one of the 3 champions that we've had in SWA.
And I think perhaps, it's easy to forget just how dominant Windham was in the early days of the SWA. Obviously went undefeated in the tournament to crown the inaugural champion, and had several, pretty decisive wins as part of his title reign, and has continued to look like a strong competitor. Maybe not a perfect record the entire time, but always looks very dangerous. He's, as you can see from the way he enters the ring, he's straight to business, doesn't mess around, and why use 5 moves to put you away when he can use 2? I think is kind of his approach in a nutshell. So you got to watch out for him.
And Wyndham started off 5-0 in that inaugural tournament, then easily dispatched of DDT, who we've seen be a strong competitor, and then defended his belt against 5 other competitors in the chamber match and came away victorious. Hard to argue with that start to his career. It's been a little bit more tough lately as he dropped the belt to Domingo Cervantes and then dropped a match to Calvin Abueva. But otherwise, he's been pretty solid. Got a big win at Right to Fight in that Ironman match against Sangres, but his team was not able to come away victorious at End of the Line, and he'd like to get some revenge on Bozeman for contributing to that pretty heavily.
Yeah, dragging him out of the ring here, only to throw him right back in. Just really toying with his prey here a bit and laying in some real hard strikes. I think Bozeman's already feeling the pain a bit here.
A couple of big kicks to the gut and then a short arm clothesline from Wyndham. He's been a bit in control so far, but Bozeman trying to get some momentum heading back his way.
And a pop-up Meteora there from Bozeman. A little creative offense. But a rake of the eyes and Wyndham right back on top.
Big kick staggers Wyndham into the corner. And a knee to the gut for Bozeman. Oh! What a running right boot from Bozeman. Raked across the face of Wyndham, and he gets a 1 count for his efforts.
That's got to be frustrating. Bozeman really bringing out the arsenal tonight, getting creative, but only gets a 1 count for his troubles. That's pretty frustrating, you got to say. Going to take more work to bring down Wyndham, and Bozeman going to town here, but Wyndham had it scouted.
Oh, just catching a trio of elbows from Wyndham there.
And Wyndham taking some time to work the crowd, watch his prey. Puts him into the tree of woe here, and what's he thinking?
Just applying pressure to the face of Bozeman. A lot of weight behind those boots. The super heavyweight Wyndham, 330 pounds, looking for the cover. Gets a 1 count.
And every time Bozeman seems like he's getting a couple things strung together, Wyndham comes right back and responds with a few offensive moves of his own.
Nice
These guys
counter by Bozeman, though, to get things going.
These guys are really back and forth, yeah, and it's interesting.
He's got an armbar locked in. He made Wyndham tap out at the end of the line in that main event 4-on-4 elimination tag match. Can he get him to tap here? No, Wyndham's fighting out of it.
Yeah, Wyndham remembers that all too well, but you can tell he's feeling the pain.
Yeah, a lot
if
of
Bozeman
impact
happens to
on the
get that
left
locked,
arm there.
if Bozeman happens to get that locked in again, it could be game over for Warren Wyndham. He's got to watch out.
He just straight picks him up and power bombs him. The strength of Wyndham there. The arm not too damaged if he's able to pull that off. And a big splash from the super heavyweight.
A lot of weight coming down on you, that splash.
Oh, Bozeman's out at 2. Looked like it could have been over for Yasuke there.
Not enough to bring down Yasuke Bozeman.
He's got him up, though, and sheer drop on Bozeman. Wyndham going right for the cover. Is that it for Yaske? 1, 2, and no. Gets the shoulder up, and Wyndham can't believe it. I thought it was over for him.
An emphatic kick out by Yasuke Bozeman and a judo toss over his shoulder. All 330 pounds of Wyndham hitting the mat pretty hard.
Gets the shoulder up after that sheer drop. It's put away a number of others. Bozeman lives to fight again for now. Now wrenching on the left arm of Wyndham once more. A lot of focus there. Can he get the arm bar locked in on it again? Ooh. Strong
I don't know if this is
DDT.
enough.
1, 2. Wyndham's kicked out.
Yeah, I appreciate the approach there, and I think you got to take a pin wherever you can get one, but that didn't feel like it was enough to me. But looks like Bozeman got something else in mind here. What's he thinking?
Looking for the Dragon Slayer. He's got it locked in center of the ring. This is what he put Wyndham away with. At end of the line, has he got him here? Nowhere to go for Wyndham. He's got to break out of the hold. He's stuck, and Bozeman lets him out of it.
An interesting choice by Bozeman. I think he could have held that and perhaps won the match. That may come back to bite him.
Oh, I think he almost certainly could have finished it off. And mind games, perhaps, but now he's on the wrong end of a powerbomb and a cover by Wyndham. Bozeman kicks out at 2.
Another deadlift powerbomb, and it'd be interesting to see here if Warren Wyndham is going to tire himself out with all these, deadlift approaches. It's a lot of work to lift a human body, even one that's not quite as big as you. But Wyndham here looking a little gassed, I gotta say. All these submissions, all these holds really take it out of you. Can't breathe. You're pulling your muscles weird. And now Bozeman going for something here again. Another armbar, it looks like.
He's got
the leg trapped as well.
He's got the right arm this time. I don't know if he's done enough to the right arm, and Wyndham getting out of it. And look at the strength of Warren Wyndham.
And again, having to deadlift his opponent. It's a lot to ask to do repeatedly. This is like a gym workout at this point.
Now Wyndham going for the cover. Oh, and he's up on the ropes. The ref doesn't see it, but Bozeman's out at 2.
And an impaler DDT spiking him right on the head.
Face rake by Wyndham, and look at the strength there. He just runs through Bozeman like he wasn't even there. Bozeman catches that, delivers a right of his own. Looking for the Dragon Slayer again. He's got Wyndham, but Wyndham's at the ropes.
Yep. Got to be aware of where you're at in the ring. That's unfortunate.
Poor positioning for Bozeman, but he busts him open off a turnbuckle there, and then delivers a handful of kicks.
He's really lighting up Warren Wyndham right now, and Wyndham occasionally gets a bit going, but overall does not seem to have any answers at the moment.
Ooh, Bozeman with a strong kick to the left arm of Wyndham, then a back kick takes Wyndham down to the ground, and Wyndham rolls outside to try to recover. Bozeman spent a lot of time on the left arm of Wyndham. If he can get another armbar in, that may do it.
But Bozeman also not letting him rest here. That's wise. Not letting him get a breather on the outside, going right to him, taking the fight to him. Big Russian leg sweep there. Again, damage to the head. He's bleeding already. He's certainly going to be feeling it. Got to be a little rocked. He's definitely tired. Bozeman needs to close the door here and fast.
Big knee to the already busted open head of Wyndham there. Now locking in, headlock. Keeping Wyndham from catching his breath, from getting some stamina back. Trying to stay in control here. Wyndham fighting to his feet. Bozeman trying to hold on to him, but Wyndham's fighting out of it. Sends him off the ropes, looking for a discus punch, but Wyndham just the shoulder check.
And more offense onto that head. Oh, but he hangs him up on the ropes.
Strong counter there by Wyndham, going for the cover after dumping him off the ropes, but the legs up for Bozeman. 2 count. This one continues on. Wyndham busted open pretty good. Covered in his own blood, and a handful of strong rights from Wyndham. And Bozeman might be busted open too now.
Looks like he returned the favor, and here we're seeing a little pump handle set up.
Ooh, and the Death Valley driver, Wyndham crawls over for the cover. Has he put away Bozeman? 1, 2, and 3. Warren Wyndham somehow survives and puts away Yaskay Bozeman. What a
Good work
match
by both
between these
competitors.
two.
And yeah, this one, I gotta say, I'm surprised at the outcome. It felt like as the match went on longer and longer, it was more and more Yaskay Bozeman's match. But in the end, he couldn't put away Warren Wyndham for whatever reason, and it's gonna come. It came back to bite him, and I think it's gonna haunt him a little bit because yet again he can't get it done.
Yeah, and will he regret letting him out of the Dragon Slayer when he had it locked in center of the ring?
And nowhere to go. Yeah, it's a strange choice.
Lets Wyndham free, and Wyndham capitalizes on it. Gets the victory. Wyndham gets his 8th victory, joining Marsh. Both of them getting their 8th victory, the 3rd and 4th to do so. Warren Wyndham with a big win here tonight. Pushes Bozeman to 4 and 5, back below 500 in singles action, and concludes our card here on episode 15. Big win for Warren Wyndham. Getting some momentum going back on his side. We had some great GT matches here tonight. DDT took down Kyo Sankari. Eric Draven got the win over Sangres, and Captain Tiger Marsh put down Paragon. In the tag team side of things, Deadfire and Unhinged both got victories, and we saw El Puma put away the ace in relatively quick time and finish it off with the match you just saw, Warren Wyndham with a nice win. We'll see you next week, episode 16. We've got 3 more Golden Trial matches on display. We'll see Eddie Vortex and Painwrecker for the first time in their debuts in the tournament, as well as some second opportunities from some of the folks we saw here tonight. And we've got some other great action coming your way as well. Thanks for coming out tonight and hanging out. We'll catch you next week, and see you later.